By the summer of 1945, the world had been at war for 6 agonizing years. The conflict that reshaped nations was reaching its final, terrifying crescendo. On August 6th, a single mission changed the course of human history. The deployment of the atomic bomb over Hiroshima unleashed a force previously unimaginable. 3 days later, a second strike on Nagasaki confirmed the dawn of the nuclear age. The scale of destruction forced a world-weary Japan to face the inevitable. In Tokyo, the Supreme Council was locked in a desperate debate. The Potsdam Declaration demanded unconditional surrender, leaving the empire with a harrowing choice. Emperor Hirohito took the unprecedented step of intervening. He prepared to record a message that would ask his people to endure the unendurable. As the emperor's voice crackled over radios across the nation, the fighting finally stopped. A silence fell over the battlefields of the Pacific. On September 2nd, 1945, the Allied fleet gathered in Tokyo Bay. The USS Missouri served as the stage for the formal end of the war. General Douglas MacArthur stood before representatives of the Allied powers and the Japanese delegation to sign the historic instrument of surrender. With the stroke of a pen, the most destructive conflict in human history was over. Peace had returned, but the world was forever changed. News of the surrender sparked jubilation across the globe. In New York's Times Square, thousands gathered to celebrate the promise of a peaceful future. In London, crowds filled the streets near Buckingham Palace, waving flags and cheering for a victory that had been won at a tremendous cost. From Paris to Sydney, the relief was palpable. The nightmare of the occupation and the constant threat of bombardment had finally been lifted. But as the celebrations faded, the reality of a broken world set in. Millions were displaced, and entire cities lay in ruins, waiting to be rebuilt. The leaders of the victorious nations recognized that the old systems had failed. To prevent another global catastrophe, they sought a new way forward. The founding of the United Nations represented a collective vow to maintain international peace and security through cooperation rather than conquest. This new world order was born from the ashes of total war. It was a fragile hope, built on the memory of the millions who perished. The legacy of 1945 continues to shape our lives today. It serves as a reminder of the destructive power of hate and the resilience of humanity. As we look toward the future, we carry the lessons of the past. The end of the war was not just a victory, but a beginning. From the darkest moments of the 20th century, a vision of global community emerged, guiding us toward a horizon of lasting peace and cooperation. The echoes of World War II remind us that while the cost of peace is high, the cost of failure is far greater. May we never forget